Then I go to my brother.
Watching a salute to the 2016 U.S. Presidential Scholars Performance at the John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., directed by the legendary dancer, actress, choreographer, and producer Debbie Allen. And one of the evening's standout performances, the dancer we were just seeing there, is Jared Brown, a 2016 YoungArts finalist in dance and U.S. Presidential Scholar in the Arts. And both Debbie and Jared join us now. Welcome to both of you. Thank you so much for being here.
So happy to be here.
Congratulations to both of you for that amazing performance. Debbie, this is the second U.S. Presidential Scholar in the Arts performance you directed for them, correct?
Yeah, last year was our second time. Such a wonderful time to realize the real fusion and interdisciplinary conversation with the arts, with all of those young people. Visual arts, music, classical, jazz, classical dance, contemporary dance, visual artists, writers. It was amazing.
It is amazing. So for those who don't know or aren't that familiar, explain how the National Young Arts Program works. Jared, how did it work for you? You obviously rose all the way to the top and became a U.S. Presidential Scholar, but how does the process work?
So for me, you have an application that you have to send in for 15 artists 15 to 18 years old or 10 to 12th grade, and you just send in like little clips of your art, and then they make a selection. And for me, I was lucky enough to be invited to the National Young Arts Week in Miami, and then that's where you get to work with master teachers like Debbie herself, and just kind of inspire and be inspired. And Young Arts is, for me, it was that validation of, yes, you can do this, yes, you have meaning in this world, and yes, you will make it. So Young Arts is a big thing.
And Debbie, tell us why you are involved. You're a master teacher, you've been involved for a while. Why do you believe it's so important?
Because young people need the arts. America needs the arts. We don't flourish as a country. There's no innovation without creativity. And anyone that doesn't understand that education, arts needs to be a big part of it, really doesn't understand where the world is going. I mean, we wouldn't have the technology we have with the iPhone if there were not a creative mind behind it.
Jared, what did you think when you were paired with the legendary Debbie Allen, working with Debbie Allen? I understand you became a bit of a mentor to Jared, right?
Yes. It's just something that you don't think that would ever happen to you. Little Jared from Dallas, Texas, I didn't think that I'd be working with the big Debbie Allen. You just get to work with all of these legends, and now I consider her one of my biggest mentors. She's the sweetest woman in the world. She's making history.
I know. Well, she is. And so, Debbie, what did you see in Jared that drew you to him and his talents? What's special about him as a performer?
Well, he has such a power. He's got a real power, and he is so strong on stage, meaning he is so graceful and musical, but manly and dynamic, and he leaps in the air and he flies. Oh. He's wonderful, and I'm so excited that he's at Juilliard. They're lucky to have him, and I know they're going to push him further.
Yes, you're a freshman there, right, Jared? And what are your ultimate goals? What would you like to do after graduating?
After graduating, I've put thought into it. I do want to go into company dancing, dance in Europe, maybe even audition for the Alvin Ailey American Dance.
So modern dance is more of your,
dance.
Yeah.
But I also want to do concerts, touring with like Chance the Rapper, things like that. Broaden my horizons, going to the commercial aspect as well.
All right. Okay, we'll be talking about that.
Right. Your mentor has something to say about that.
Yes,
I was one of these kids. I was in Houston, Texas at 8 years old, and I couldn't go to dance class because everything was segregated.
Amazing.
My mother moved to Mexico, and then finally I became the first black dancer at the Houston Ballet Foundation at the ripe old age of 14, and I had to take 10 classes a week to get caught up, and I know what it did for me to just survive the racial divide that was tearing this country apart. And right now, with the political climate, and the racial climate right now, we need the arts more than ever.
More than ever.
It is unifier. It
absolutely.
Is a unifier.
And another thing that is a unifier was your performance in Fame. I think that everybody in the world just loves this. We just want to play a little bit, if you wouldn't mind.
You want fame. Well, fame costs. And right here is where you start paying in sweat.
I mean, how many times do people come up to you still and tell you how influential that movie was for them?
They do. They come up in the grocery store, the gas station, and some people that are very popular and famous right now were inspired by Fame.
I want to close by letting all the young people out there who might be watching know how can they get involved in the Young Arts program if they are a high school student dreaming of fame, right? How can they get involved? What do they need to do?
Well, if they have a talent, a visual artist, musician, dancer, singer, composer, writer, they just need to go on Young Arts. Go look at Young Arts Foundation, Young Arts application, and it's all over the country. There may major hubbubs, you know, LA, New York, Miami, various hubbubs, but everywhere.
Any high school student is eligible to apply, right?
With grade point average. We want the full package.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Jared and Debbie. Thanks so much for coming to see us today. Keep up everything that you're doing. Thank you so much.
I will.